Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at a very interesting team that was really cool for me. I don't know, I think I played it for only 2 sets actually, went 9-1 with it. So super solid, but you see my first opponent here, I just want to put that in there. Oh, look what he's running, like what the hell, that's so cool actually. Like you see Alakazam in the lead, we see a Shadow Arcanine as a save swap here. Like what the fuck? And I'm kind of making a mistake here. I shouldn't have went into this thing here. I thought he might have Crunch, but he has Flamethrower. But my opponent swaps into the Alakazam, and now we have our Giratina in the back. As you can see, we have a Alolan Sandslash double ghost team. And I really enjoyed using that. Like, it seems like really interesting as like, I don't know, like, you don't really expect something like that. But and you also, like, if you can see, like, in the right side, you only have 3 different type of moves. Like you have the ghost types, you have the ice type moves, and you have 1 ground type move, and that's it. Like you have like 5 ghost type moves and 3 ice type moves, like 1 ground type. Like coverage isn't really the case here, but you don't need that. Like in general, like those types just hit everything basically pretty decent. And yeah. The main thing here as well is we have like an ice type in the lead, and then we have the Drifblim as a save swap, which is beautiful, as we have ice type coverage there as well. So most things that kind of don't want to face ice types in general gonna go into your Drifblim, and then you can basically surprise them with the ice event, which was like one of my things what I thought there. And yeah, in general, I thought like Alolan Sandslash has most of the time a lot of play in Ultra League in general. But this time around it even has like some more play. Like I was really looking forward to play it, and here you see the big weakness of our team, it's Scrafty. Scrafty you win actually with the Drifblim, I think, if you play that correct, but if you don't get the Scrafty onto your Drifblim, it's kind of tough. But it's not looking too bad right now, because we still have our Giratina, we shield the Power Punch here, which is sad. We can go for another Shadow Ball, which is good. We're gonna do a lot of damage here, and we have to catch the move here. We're gonna be able to catch the foul play here on our Alolan Sandslash, which is really good, as we can farm him down still, even though the counter is like double boosted and double super effective. We're gonna be able to go for an Ice Punch here and gonna clean up the game. Good game there. Next up, we're gonna have Sandslash against Stunfisk. Of course, like, you don't really want to stay in here, but it's either not the worst matchup in like 2 shields, but we're just gonna go into the Drifblim here, try to catch the Earthquake, and this happened to me like so often that I just gotta catch the Rock Slide all the time on my flyers. It was a different team where I also had that like happen the whole time, and yeah. Beautiful catch there, of course, on the Earthquake, getting the Rock Slide catch in, how you want that. But it's not even the worst thing. You can like get still to your Shadow Ball, and now you put him into Bulldoze range, so you can KO with the Sandslash. Not the biggest deal. My opponent goes into Machamp, and now it depends what he has in the back. He stays in here for a bit and then goes into a Gallade. And I don't know why I couldn't throw my move there. Like, I think I threw that before. We shouldn't have really seen P-Tide there because he swapped in later on. Now I tried to undercharge a bit to get some extra farm here. But it's tough. It's really tough right now. I don't know why, like... I actually wanted to throw before you can throw a move, so... Maybe I shouldn't have shielded though. And here I have to call the baits now. Because if I didn't call the bait there, the game would have been lost anyway. So I called it once correct, and I'm gonna call it here again. And I'm correct again. So the reason also why I did that is, as you see here, I'm no shielding again. I have my Sandslash still close to Ice Punch, and as long as he doesn't have like 2 moves stored against me, I'm fine gonna KO this Machamp. But still, like, could have been a bit not as close as this match, which is kind of unfortunate. Snorlax against us, what we kind of want to do is try to swap on Superpower into our Ghost type. Because Drifblim, they usually want to stay in there anyway because the lick damage is so nice, but they definitely gonna lose this matchup if they stay in the whole time there. So they're gonna swap out into the Ninetales. I can go for 1 Shadow Ball. And the Snorlax still has a lot of energy left, but I can go for another Shadow Ball here. Against this Ninetales, gonna be able to get his shield. Gonna farm him down, can go into my Steel and Ice type. I'm gonna be able to go for the Ice Punch. Maybe I should have like waited a bit, But my opponent goes for the move right now. I can farm down afterwards. I don't have to shoot anything. Everything is resisted. It's a Dazzling Gleam. So yeah, maybe I should avoid it a bit. I kind of catch the move from the Snorlax on my Giratina. Body Slam does nothing. And my opponent has a Kingdra in the back. We have lag against us, so we can go for the Shadow Ball. And let's see if we're going to hit this Shadow Ball here. We're going to be able to hit this. And we can actually still get to the Omni as a Winter, which is beautiful, even though our IV spread on the Giratina is really horrendous. We can shield here and we just hope that we don't get the debuff. Octazooka. Okay, didn't get the debuff. Okay, my opponent goes on the move here. We are really low. I don't know if Bull is like doing more than Ice Punch. I'm just gonna go for Ice Punch, maybe get to 2. He has 1 HP, he's gonna go for a move. We're gonna survive that, and we're gonna be able to KO him. Like, I don't know, I think Bulldoze would have done a bit more than 1 Ice Punch. So next time I should go for the Bulldoze. Here we have a Ferrothorn, which is interesting. Ferrothorn, depending, I stay in here, like if he has Thunder, he goes for Thunder immediately. If he does not have Thunder, I can swap out later on. Because we have an ABB team, we always want to get out the Dark type, even though I don't expect him to have a Dark type if you have a Steel type in the lead. It doesn't really make sense, unless it's maybe Bandalas. But my opponent goes into Gavengela, and I just hope here that he goes for the lunge. And he does not, which is the right play, good play there on my opponent's part. But I have my Giratina, which completely hardwalls this thing, which is nice. So Spooder has nothing against this thing. Goes for the lunge. I can farm up as much as I can. I can go for the Shadow Ball and KO him while having a lot of energy stored and still having a lot of health. My opponent has a Dragalge. I make a mistake here. I should have swapped out immediately. There's no reason for me to go for the move here. I can swap out into my Sandslash, get his shield here most likely because I would have KO'd. He goes into Ferrothorn. And now it's getting tricky. Can I have to get rid of the Dragalge and I have no idea how. The Ferrothorn is not really the biggest threat here for us. I'm still gonna shield, just maybe if he gets to like a crazier move. I can go for the Ice Punch now, but we're gonna outspam the Dragalge, so I'm not really worried about that too much now. So I can go for the Ice Punch here, and we should be able to get to the next Ice Punch really quick as well. So I think I also would survive an Aqua Tail from this range as well. Like, we are kind of bulky. We have like only slightly XL Alolan Sandslash here, as you can see where the AV is, I think level 42 or something. You want a 0, 15, 15 one or something like that. So yeah, here my opponent goes into a Stunfisk, and I always don't really know what I want to do against this thing. I was gonna go for Bulldoze immediately and go into my Giratina. Not the worst place. I think I would shield the first one always with Giratina because he gonna get to 2 anyway, so why not shield the first one? And here my opponent... Okay, does he go for another? He does go for another Earthquake, which is nice for me because now I can go for the Omnius Wind. I don't really want to get hit by a Rock Slide as well, so here I can farm down. It's beautiful. My opponent goes into the 9-tails. Sadly, I cannot get to another move, but I can realign my Pokemon. He has a Scrafty in the back, and now it's getting a bit iffy here because Scrafty against like Ghost type, I don't know. At least we have like the option to go for some debuffs. I want to shield the first move because it's going to be the move that does the most of damage here against me. I'm going to be able to go for another Icy Wind, and I need a shield gone. If I don't get a shield gone, it's going to be difficult. He goes for the foul play, does not even half of me. I can get to another Icy Wind here, but I think he's just going to let this go. And swaps out. Perfect play for my opponent there. I can go into my Alolan Sandslash. You could argue running Gyro Ball on that thing because it would just one-shot the 9-tails while I don't have that here. So this gonna cost me the game, I think, even. I don't have that Gyro Ball here. I'm gonna go for an Ice Punch, and now I have to farm him down and hope that I get to like 2 moves or something. But I think my opponent can swap out soon again, which you're gonna do right now. I had some lag against me, so he gets 2 counters in. I'm gonna try to swap out, but one foul play gonna KO us from this range, so good game to my opponent there. Well played. Nothing we can do, still a close game. That was the only loss with this team. So next up we're gonna have the Stunfisk again. I'm gonna catch the Earthquake again. We had some lag there against us, but you always get to the Earthquake at the same time as you get to the Bulldoze, and my opponent throws the Rock Slide. Why is no one like throwing the right move? I'm just gonna go for the Ice Wind right now. And my opponent swaps out into the Mewtwo. I can go for another Icy Wind, which is nice. And I guess I can go into my Giratina. And this Giratina gonna be able to take everything pretty decently as it's debuffed already. The Rock Slide doesn't really hurt that much. I don't know why you go for the Rock Slide. Did you have like Psy Strike or something? Goes for another Rock Slide. Maybe it's like double coverage move. We have some lag against us. Nice. We can go for an Omnious Wind and farm down. And we get the boost here. And the boost is nice. My opponent goes into Superior. I'm gonna bait here because like there's no way you're not gonna shield and boosted Giratina. I guess there is. But yeah, anyway. We put him to low health here. I think with one Shadow Ball we would have KO'd him. But we have still our Sandslash, and our Sandslash can just go straight for the Ice Punch at this point of time. My opponent actually got a no-shield the first move there, even though it could have been a Bulldoze. And I'm just gonna double shield here. I think I'm almost winning this in the 2-shield scenario, as I'm gonna out-spam him. So there shouldn't be a case where I lose this game here, I think. Other than maybe Niantic being Niantic. But this is always like a play for the opponent that he can do. Niantic is always kind of giving some lag out sometimes for people. Here we can go for the Ice Punch. The Ice Punch gonna do... Oh yeah, we have lag actually against us here, nice. But I think it's like my opponent just surrendered at this point of time. I think he just closed the app or something. So yeah, we would have won this anyway. Like we win CMP against Stunfisk, we got to the move there at the same time, so... There was no way we could have lost this. Next up we have a Mewtwo against us in the lead. And I thought, okay, this is never Dynamic Punch, but like maybe I miscounted because I had some lag. But like it wasn't a Dynamic Punch. So what I can do here is stay in for a bit. I'm just gonna try to catch the Rock Slide again onto my Flying type because I'm a genius. That's how you always should do it. My opponent goes into Gengar, which is nice. I'm just gonna go straight for the Icy Wind. The Icy Wind gonna allow me to debuff it, and yeah, he has to throw against me anyway. And he's already so low from the Hex damage that I thought of going for an Ice Punch here. I should have, most likely. I go for the Bulldoze. Goes for a Shadow Punch, does nothing. I should have went for the Ice Punch, I think. I think I could have farmed him down afterwards. My opponent goes into the Mewtwo, I think, again. Yeah, into the Mewtwo again. What I'm gonna do is just store up some moves and go into my Giratina now. If it's a Psy Strike, it's fine. And he has a Nidoqueen in the back. And I'm just gonna hope that I can bait him out correctly here. And I'm gonna be able to bait him, which is nice. I can go for a Shell Ball afterwards. I think I'm gonna shield this because, it's an Earth Power. I now kind of want the damage from the Shadow Ball on him. The poison moves are resisted on us, so we're like in a really decent spot here. And he also another move here, which is gonna be the Poison Fang. I'm gonna swap out there. We have some lag against us, we can farm him down. And we can go for some double Ice Punches here. He has no energy on the Mewtwo, so there's no way he can get to any move there, and we're gonna be able to win this game. Good game there. And next up to the second to last game, I would guess. It's the Nidoqueen against us, which is beautiful. We have lag here. Like, we had so much lag like during the gameplay. You see that even like usually you don't see that as much because it's split up between like 2 and 3 times. So you don't really see the lag then there really because it's not like the live gameplay. But here my opponent goes into the Dragonite, and that's why I mean, like, okay, you have an ice type move on the Drifblim as well, so we're just gonna realign our Pokemon here perfectly fine, which is nice. My opponent goes into Machamp, which is not nice because he got a lot of energy, but we still have our Ghost type in the back, and we can realign that as well. We can go for an Omnious Wind here. I'm just gonna let this one go because I know that we're gonna survive a Rock Slide anyway. I was kind of looking that he doesn't have Payback because Payback might be interesting and would destroy us. My opponent goes to the Nidoqueen. I can go into my Sandslash, can go for my move straight away. I don't really want to risk getting hit by Earth Power. My opponent goes into Machamp, and we would have been able to Powder Snow him down, but yeah, it is fine. We're just gonna farm down over the Giratina. So last game here, we're gonna have Drifblim against us in the lead. That's beautiful. That's what I want to see. My opponent goes into Stunfisk. I have no idea what I'm doing again, so I'm just gonna go for the Bulldoze. Gonna try to get some damage. I think this time he lets us go. Exactly. Put him to half health. We can go into our own Giratina. I'm just gonna shield here because I know that I can get, like, think one Earthquake afterwards and I can farm up a lot extra. And there's an Earthquake. It's fine because we can survive that. And my opponent Definitely gonna have to see if I'm gonna go for the Shadow Ball here, which I don't do, and he goes to the Drifblim again. I can go for the Shadow Ball now, which does not KO the Drifblim actually because it's so bulky, and he can KO us, but it's fine because we can go back into, I think we went into our, into our Sandslash again. If he goes into the G-Fisk, we're gonna be able to get to the move before he goes into the Machamp. And this is kind of a problem because like the Rock Slide kind of hurts and you don't really want to face that. But I'm gonna bait him here, so I hope that he, I don't know, like, that he shields here, which is fine. The Rock Slide gonna hurt us still, at least he throws it here, and now I expect him to switch out anyway, so I'm just gonna go straight for the Ice Wind as the G-Fisk was close to the move, and we're gonna be able to win this game as well. Good game to my opponent, thanks for watching, maybe try Alolan Sandslash as well, and I see you in the next video.